Have you ever felt exhausted from constantly chasing someone who always keeps their distance from you? The more you try to get closer, the colder, more distant and avoidant they become. This is a psychological issue that leads countless people into a state of helplessness, low self-esteem, and self-doubt. But you know what? The truth is, you can absolutely turn this situation around. There are some incredibly attractive habits that, when applied correctly, will cause the avoidant person to reverse their behavior and actively crave your attention. Hello, I'm Jim Rohn. Throughout many years working as a researcher and psychological advisor on relationships, I've realized that the secret to attracting an avoidant person is not chasing after them, but knowing how to become genuinely attractive in a subtle and intelligent way. These are small actions and attitudes, yet they hold great power to make the avoidant person feel irresistibly drawn to you, even willing to step out of their comfort zone to reach you. In today's video, I'm going to reveal these incredibly appealing habits. You'll gain a deep understanding of the avoidant person's psychology, how they think, what sparks their curiosity, and most importantly, how you can become the person they can't stop thinking about. After applying these strategies, not only will you regain your confidence in the relationship, but the avoidant person will also start seeking you out and valuing you more than ever before. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to become part of a community of wise individuals who hold the keys to mastering life and love through psychology. Let's explore and win over the hearts of the avoidant right now. The first habit may sound absurd at first. Don't try to hold them back. But trust me, after years of observing messy relationships like reading a mysterious book, I've come to realize one truth. The more we chase love, the more likely we are to lose what makes it special, the freedom and space to breathe. The website Free to Attach once said it perfectly. The avoidant only starts to miss you once you've walked away, like a child who only craves a toy once it's hidden. They're the same. When the relationship ends and the pressure of attachment fades, they suddenly have room to dream, to wonder, what if? The fear of being tied down fades, replaced by an emptiness. When you're no longer there, I remember an interesting story from a user with the nickname Junkul1997. He talked about a cold childhood where his parents never gave him any emotional warmth. That turned him into a master of building walls around his heart. In love, he found his partner's need for closeness strange, even suffocating, like being trapped in a sealed room. But then she left, and in the silence of pain, he realized something he had never admitted, how important she truly was. For the first time, he felt her value through the aching of missing her. That's when I understood. Instead of desperately clinging on, quietly take a step back. Don't pressure them. Don't scream. When you let go, the avoidant may turn back to look at you, eyes filled with regret they never expected. That's the power of freedom. When you are no longer a threat of commitment, they are free to miss you in their own way, like a gentle breeze passing through, light yet stirring their soul. Picture this. You walk away without looking back, while they stand there, suddenly realizing the space you left behind is bigger than they ever imagined. Not because you did something grand, but because you gave them room to feel on their own. So if you're desperately trying to pull them back, pause for a moment. Try stepping back, not to give up, but to open a new possibility. Who knows, in that very moment, they might realize what they truly want, and that could be you. Coming to the second habit, I must confess something. Awakening the subconscious is a fascinating art. In the book Attached by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller, the authors point out that avoidant individuals are often highly sensitive to feelings of dependency from others, yet they hide their own attachment anxieties beneath thick layers of defense. If you try projecting words like separation, abandonment, or avoidance onto a screen, they won't react as quickly as someone with a secure attachment, at least not on a conscious level. But try distracting them with a task that requires focus, and something magical happens. When their defensive wall begins to crack, a part of their long-hidden anxiety is revealed, proving that deep down they also crave connection. Don't mistake avoidance for emotionless rocks. Their emotional system still functions, it's just locked behind a protective shield. So how do you awaken their true desires? Invite them into activities that fully engage the mind. Solving a tough puzzle, painting a picture together, playing a challenging board game, or taking on a thrilling escape room. When they become engrossed in the task at hand, their defenses unintentionally lower. A casual remark about emotions, a gentle question about their past experiences, or a subtle suggestion about the past can slip through that crack. In that moment, their subconscious is freed and a spark of connection begins to flicker naturally and unexpectedly. Now let's move to the third habit. Avoidant individuals are often drawn to personalities that give them a sense of freedom. If you've heard of the Myers-Briggs personality types, which classify people into 16 unique types, you'll find that some personalities seem tailor-made to befriend avoidance. For instance, the strong and logically independent INTJ, the gentle and empathetic yet solitude-loving INFJ, the confident and practical ISTP, or the soft-spoken ISFP who always cherishes personal freedom. These types create a feeling of ease and non-restriction, like a refreshing breeze for the avoidant, those who are always afraid of being emotionally tied down. But here's the strange part. Though they always say they want a partner who makes no demands and respects their endless space, reality often tells a different story. More than once, avoidants fall into the arms of anxious types, those who yearn for intense closeness and constantly seek reassurance. Why is that, when what they claim to want is emotional freedom? The answer is simpler than you think. Deep inside, avoidants aren't as cold as they appear. They secretly long for a bit of warmth, a thread of primal connection that still quietly burns. Anxious individuals, with their initial intensity, often provide exactly that. But then, like an inevitable collision, the anxious person's strong needs clash with the avoidant's fear of intimacy, and everything begins to shake. The relationship between an avoidant and an anxious person is like a strange dance, both captivating and frustrating. They push each other away and then pull each other back, creating an endless cycle of mixed emotions. This leads us to the fourth habit, building a pocket world. Imagine a dreamlike space that the avoidant secretly yearns for, a place where you and they coexist, but only skim the surface of deep emotions, never digging too much into each other's souls. A social media user once shared that they preferred relationships like separate bubbles, where no one is forced to reveal the dark corners of their heart. Sounds simple, right? Just avoid heavy conversations. But life isn't that easy. Even though avoidants always say they want a partner like themselves, cold, undemanding, the truth is far more complicated. Inside them still lurks a fear of abandonment. And ironically, it's often the anxious individuals who awaken that forgotten emotional part. The anxious don't settle for surface-level connection. They demand deeper bonding, stirring up inner conflict in the avoidant, the desire for closeness mixed with a fear of suffocation. They may declare, "I just need someone who doesn't bother me." But time and again, they are drawn to those who make their hearts speak. Perhaps they are chasing a vague image, what Attach calls the phantom an ideal partner, who only exists in their imagination when everything has fallen apart. When freed from the pressure of reality, they dream of this person, trapped in an emotional maze between the longing for love and the haunting fear of loneliness. A truly fascinating story, isn't it? Finally, we come to the fifth habit. Give them what they want, but offer them what they need. This idea stems from the brilliant analysis of K.M. Wieland, a renowned author known for her insightful perspective on the difference between a character's outer desire and their true inner need. Think of Woody in Toy Story. He dreams of being Andy's one and only beloved toy, a position of unmatched exclusivity. But what Woody truly needs is not that monopoly, but to learn how to share, collaborate, and build friendships with other toys. The life of an avoidant person bears an interesting similarity. They always say they want a partner who respects every centimeter of their personal space. Sounds reasonable, right? They see themselves as independent, disliking anyone who invades or forces them to confront emotions. But deep down, what they truly need is someone sensitive enough to guide them into a healthy relationship. Someone strong enough to awaken closeness without making them feel overwhelmed. What's noteworthy here is that those who want to win the heart of an avoidant often carry some insecurity within themselves. They might be anxious souls, constantly doubting their worth, and this contrast creates endless clashes. But here's the magic. If you sell the avoidant exactly what they want, by mirroring their calmness, letting them be comfortable in their personal bubble, strangely enough, they might voluntarily come closer to you. You don't need to shout or cling, just show confidence, respect their space, and they'll start to feel curious. But be careful. If you unknowingly feed your own insecurity in the process, you may fall into a tiring push-pull spiral with no way out. One day, when you realize your own worth, you'll ask yourself, why do I have to try so hard just to keep them around? I've witnessed many stories like this. People who were once anxious, who poured sweat and effort into changing the avoidant, eventually decided to stop. They sought therapy, spent time reflecting on themselves, and gradually discovered their inner strength. A friend of mine once said, after months of chasing an avoidant, I don't have to prove anything anymore. She learned to love herself, and her eyes lit up when she spoke about leaving that relationship. She no longer wanted to stay in a dance without rhythm. It made me think, perhaps the avoidant isn't always the target to be conquered. They too have their own wounds, their hidden corners that need time to heal. But what about you? You don't have to sacrifice your peace just to wait for them to change. So try this. Show them you understand their desire for freedom, but at the same time quietly plant the seed of genuine connection. Don't pressure, don't beg. If they come closer, it's because they want to. And if they don't, you can still walk away with your head held high, knowing you've stayed true to yourself. Life isn't a game you have to win at all costs. Sometimes letting go is how you find true freedom, not just for them, but for yourself as well. And who knows, maybe one day when the avoidant realizes what they truly need, they'll come back. Not because you tried so hard, but because they finally learned how to open their heart. But then the bigger question will be, will you still want to be there waiting for them? In the end, this journey of exploring 5 habits is not just a way to understand the avoidant, but also a reminder of our own value in relationships. From stepping back to let them miss you, awakening the subconscious through unexpected moments, to finding the balance between distance and connection, all revolve around one truth. Love is not a battle to win or lose, but a dance that requires understanding and respect from both sides. We've learned that avoidants aren't emotionless walls, but wounded souls who long for closeness yet fear being hurt. And more importantly, you don't have to sacrifice yourself to fix them. Sometimes letting go a little is how both of you find what you truly need, whether that's a deeper connection or separate paths. I want to send my sincere thanks to all of you who spent time watching this video. Your support has been the motivation for me to bring meaningful content, hoping to touch the hearts and minds of everyone. If you found this message helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss the upcoming videos. I'm really looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Have you ever gone through something similar, or do you have a different perspective on avoidance and how to build a relationship with them? Leave a comment below. Your story is a precious source of inspiration for us all to learn and grow together. Let's turn this space into a place of genuine and deep sharing. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and don't hesitate to speak your heart. I'm always here to listen. Thank you once again, and see you on the next journey.